Nobody really likes cleaning, so we all develop our own tricks and techniques to make it go faster so we can carry on with the fun parts of our lives. None of our quick cleaning tricks have ever been as clever as this one though. Sure, it's pure luck that the table spins, but it takes an alert mind to spot the possibilities. It's always helpful to have someone cheering you on too. Watermelon is delicious, but most people do anything they can to avoid cutting one up. It's not an easy job, even if it's not your actual profession. This woman has mastered the art though. If you blink, you might miss everything at the speed she's working. It makes you wonder how many watermelons she can get through in a single workday. We're often impressed by the Lone Rangers of this world, but let's not forget that 2 heads are better than 1. These guys are great at their job. Not many people can cut grass like that and with such speed. But no matter how good they are, it would still take them twice as long if they weren't together. The trick was finding someone who matched their amazing skill level. Just look how in sync they are. There are some jobs you'd never believe exist unless you're the one who has to do them. For example, one of the jobs this guy has to do is unpack pipe. If I were given that job, I'd be clumsily picking up one at a time. But this man knows what he's doing. I'll never know how he doesn't fall over doing that. You can't deny it's a seriously impressive technique and very fast too. Scientists are pretty adamant that multitasking is a myth. Almost nobody can do it successfully. Almost. But like everything in life, there are a special few. And this man is one of them. He can wash and polish a window at the same time. It's a great technique that makes use of his tools in ways most people would never even think of. And he makes it look simple. I doubt I'd have the coordination to replicate it. Farming used to be a quiet profession, but these days, that job is largely done by machines. And that doesn't mean machines have replaced all farm workers though. Take a look at the celery harvesting skills these people have. They can pick and trim a stick of celery in just seconds without damaging it. There's no machine on earth that could do that job as effectively as they do. Painting a wall is one thing, but what about painting a floor? Maybe you can put a roller on a stick like a broom, but this guy doesn't seem to need one. He's got his own technique that's not only super effective, but it's also fun to watch, and it saves him from having to bend over, which has gotta be a lifesaver. Boxes are just about the simplest thing on earth, right up until you're the one who has to pack one. But don't forget, practice makes perfect, and some people practice box packing a lot. This woman has clearly done this more times than she can count, and she now wields that tape like it's a sword. Now these are 2 boxes that are never going to pop open. Have you ever wondered how ketchup gets into those little pots? Probably not. We all just assume that it's a machine, but that's not necessarily true. It might just be this person that does it, but never in your wildest dreams would you imagine this process to be done so efficiently and accurately. It seems so easy, but it must be a difficult skill to master. Most of us are clueless about the process our food goes through before reaching us, but you don't need to know anything about packing factories to see that this woman is great at her job. Just take a glance at the speed of the people around her and you'll see she's working on a totally different level. Machines need to start worrying about their jobs if she's their competition. Have you ever actually looked at your roof? You probably only notice it when there's a problem, but someone had to put those roof tiles up there. How do they do that? Well, if they're any good at it, they do it like this. These men have such skill, I bet they could tile an entire roof in a matter of minutes. Just imagine having that kind of accuracy with a nail gun. Some people just aren't content with everyday life, so they take the simplest tasks and turn them into something exciting. Bussing tables is something most people think is boring, but you'd never get bored doing it the way this guy does it. He's brought skill and panache to his job. Plus, he's flirting with danger every time he picks up a plate. Let's face it, it's much easier to drop one if you're cleaning like that. He's got skills though. Anyone who's ever ruined a burrito by not understanding how to roll things is going to love this. Neatly rolling food that way isn't easy, but that doesn't mean you can't get good at it. This guy can roll faster than the eye can see, and he even manages to wrap with a flourish. Despite those incredible speeds, you can bet he's doing it much better than we can in 10 minutes. Not everyone can be the Lone Ranger. Many of us need to work together to get a job done, and that often doesn't go very smoothly. But occasionally, you find the perfect team. If you want to see what that looks like, look no further. They don't have an easy job to start with, but they make it look effortless. You could almost be fooled into believing those crates are light. Everyone loves pizza. It's just one of those weird facts about humans, but very few of us are good at making it. It's no easy task. This guy makes folding pizza crust look like a walk in the park though. Who knows how long he had to practice to develop that skill, but he's sure mastered it now, and it's a surprisingly beautiful thing to watch. We've all heard of snake charmers, but have you ever heard of a rope charmer? Well, you're about to see one. This man has worked around boats for so long that he can get a rope to do whatever he wants. This kind of knot can be difficult to do even when you're using your hands to tie it. You can watch it as much as you like, but you'll probably never work out how it's done. Painting a house never looks hard until you try to do it yourself. Chances are, you're going to end up with a streaky, patchy paint job, and next thing you know, you're on the phone with someone who can fix the mess you created. Hopefully, the number you dialed is for these guys. They're pros amongst pros. Their relay-style spray paint and roller technique has got to be unique. I'll bet you wonder why everyone doesn't do it like that when you see just how fast and effective it is. Good bakers have been praised for centuries. That's because anyone can make a mediocre loaf. But making good bread takes skill and talent. And that's exactly what's on display here. This person is basically a dough wizard. Any normal person would get that dough all over them and not achieve anything. But this person really knows what they're doing, and they do it with style. We've all made the mistake of trying to flip pizza dough at least once in our lives. Probably half of us got that dough stuck to the ceiling. The rest ended up with a shapeless lump. But some people actually can do it. And then there's this man. He can put anyone to shame, even seasoned pizza makers. Homeowners dread having to fix up their houses, especially because all that dusty work can take ages. But you'd never need to worry if you can just call up this guy. He has some serious skills. You'll never see anyone else using a two-handed installation technique like his. I don't know exactly how quickly he can install a full wooden floor, but I'll bet all those planks will be in place by lunchtime. Almost every business on earth features some unpacking and stacking of some sort, but only a special few people perform that job with any kind of skill. These guys are the best of the best when it comes to repacking tires. They're heavy and big, so they should be one of the most difficult things to stack, but these men make it look easy using a bit of flawless teamwork. Beauty products cycle through trends faster than the seasons, so it's almost impossible to keep track of what they're actually selling you. So here's one from a few years back that you've probably never seen in its natural form. Aloe vera. This factory worker sure knows their way around the strange succulent plant. How someone can have those kinds of knife skills when working with something that's slippery is almost impossible to understand. But I don't care. I could watch them slice that jello plant for the rest of the day. Packaging is an important part of any product. There are all kinds of bags and wrappers for all purposes, but how do the things get inside those bags? Machines put them there, right? Well, probably sometimes, but not these flatbreads. And that's because these people have skills beyond the wildest imaginations of packaging machine engineers.